Recording. Okay, welcome everyone. So let's begin this morning. I'm sharing a screen. Okay, so we'll listen to this short clip. It's about 2 minutes long. And let me know if you hear the voice.
Either we are aware and present, or we're not.
Can you hear it?
Yes, nahi, it's the volume is low.
Acha, volume low hai. Okay.
Aware and present, or we're not.
Aa rahi hai?
She said we present open up.
Yeah, so it's coming. Okay, I just wanted to know it's coming. And then I'll just put it on now full screen and then share. So we'll just go listen to this and then we'll meditate for 10 minutes. I will guide the meditation. I'll share the steps in between for 10 minutes right away after this video clip. Yeah, okay.
Aware and present, or we're not. I mean, I think that it's really very important whether one is in retreat or out in the world, that one should develop this quality of awareness as much as possible, because, distraction is the main problem for everybody. I mean, what the Buddha called the monkey mind. And we have to tame the monkey mind, whether we are under retreat situations or whether we are caught up with our families and our professions and our just everyday life. Either we are conscious or we are not conscious. I mean, there's no halfway. And so we need to develop this. If you asked me before, what is the most important thing anybody ever told me, I would say probably the advice from our yogis at our monastery to observe the mind at least 3 times every hour. And to make that commitment, just to stop for a moment and just look at this moment. What is my mind doing? What mind state am I dwelling in at this moment? Not judging it, just knowing it. So that gradually we become more and more accustomed to be conscious of what we are thinking and the states of mind, the negative states and the positive states as they arise, so that we become more and more the masters of our mind instead of the slaves.
So let's do this. We'll close our eyes. And we'll just focus our attention, bring our attention to the breath. So breath is our anchor. We'll bring our attention to the breath. We'll cling to the breath. And the moment you see a thought rising up and you getting lost there, you just bring your attention back to the breath. And with the breath also come back to the body. Be one with the body. So this we are going to do for 10 minutes. Anytime our focus gets lost, we'll bring it back to the breath. Become aware that you are breathing. And the moment you get lost in a thought or somewhere else, become aware that you are going there and just non-judgmentally bringing awareness back to the breath. One thing that helps bringing the awareness to ourselves is noticing the sensations of the body as you're breathing. Just becoming aware of them. Just notice how easily the mind flickers, gets distracted, but again, bringing back to the breath. So we are aware that we are breathing. And then turn your focus towards the awareness itself. Become aware of being aware. Just know that you are aware, not aware of anything, but just aware. Anything that you know or sense, perceive is because of this background awareness that you are. So we are going to stay in this awareness for the rest of the minutes, knowing ourselves as the awareness. And if you get distracted, which will happen, just bring your back again to knowing yourself as awareness. Because who knew that you got distracted? That awareness itself. Your whole being is full of that awareness that you are. Each pore of your body is brimming full of this awareness. That's how you sense the body. Use the thread of breath in case you get lost. And tell yourself, I am aware. I am this knowing. This transparent knowing, that's who I am. And because this knowing itself has no color, it takes up the color of the thought, feeling, notions, ideas, sensations, and hence gets masked, and we ignore that it's there. So just 2 more minutes, staying as this knowing. bringing ourselves back here where we always were. In the body, bringing the mind back. If it got lost, again to the body, to the breath. And whenever we feel ready, we'll open our eyes. And it's good to stay with the breath again and again, even when we are awake. It's just a kind of a tool, little tool to bring our awareness back to ourselves. So I would open the floor if one has any reflections from today, or maybe some challenges that we face while we sit to meditate, if you want to share anything. Okay, so if there is no reflection, we can go on. I have we have a short video clip that we wanted to share with you. So I'll play that, and then we can our reflections. We can share our reflections on that after the clip. So this is about this young boy, a teenager, who has sickle cell anemia. It's a true story. It's part of this documentary called Human Nature. And so it's a little bit of a peek into his life. And then towards the end, the doctor is telling the young boy that there is a possibility of gene mutation, gene therapy, where if we change the gene itself in the beginning of your life when you are a child, then you would not have the sickle cell anemia. And then he shares his response on that. So let's hear this.
Being in the hospital isn't scary to me. Having a certain new problem isn't scary to me anymore because it's happened so many times. I don't know. My blood just does not like me very much, I guess. Your red cells are supposed to be round and have oxygen in them. Mine are half moon shaped, sickle shaped, which is why it's called sickle cell. So I don't get the same amount of oxygen.
I always say like oil change, you drain the dirty out and then put it clean in. Yeah. So he just needs a tune up every 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
He used to tell me, don't cry, Nana. Why are you crying? I said, love you, baby. He goes, don't worry about it. He says, if I lose my life, he goes, you'll see me again. I thought, this child has more strength and faith than I do.
It's often called the first molecular disease. It's caused by a single change in the DNA sequence. It's the letter A changed to a letter T.
That's it.
That's it.
That mutation causes a kink in the protein that prevents it from folding properly. If your folding structure of a protein is disrupted, now that protein can't function.
David can go from crazy teenager, joking, jumping around, to a fetal position on his knees.
It's like pulsing. This hurts. You're having a sickle cell crisis. I can have like a little pain crisis where it really doesn't count, and then I can have something really bad. But I'm not just gonna not play basketball. You can't just not play basketball.
Do you think you want to have kids?
I have too many siblings for that. The answer is probably gonna change, but for now, probably not. No, I'm not crazy.
They're saying maybe one day with CRISPR, they could go in and change the gene in the embryo so that the kid, when it's born, doesn't have sickle cell.
I guess that's kind of cool that they're thinking that it can do that in the future, but I think that would be up to the kid later.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of things that I learned having sickle cell. Just because I had it, I learned patience with everyone. I learned just to be positive.
So you don't wish that you never had it?
I don't wish that I never had it, no. I don't think I'd be me if I didn't have sickle cell.
Yeah, anyone? Any reflection, any sharing? We have around 13, 14 minutes more if anyone wants to share anything.
So after watching David's video, he was so much in acceptance of who he is, and yeah, and so I have seen people with various diseases cribbing and not happy and not accepting. Acceptance comes later, actually. Denial and depression comes first. So having accepting what you have, it's very easy to accept what you are and then connect to it. And yeah, and there was no cribbing. So it's a beautiful lesson also. Yeah. And and then your body becomes your friend, because instead of so the symptoms also reduce, and then you get more connected to the alarming symptoms. The awareness increases and you're able to do what you are supposed to do in the moment. And that's what it takes to overcome a physical, I won't say illness, but a physical event maybe, or a physical, uh, what's the right word? Yeah. So we overtake that. So that's beautiful. Yeah. Thanks for sharing the
Yeah,
video.
thank you, Riddhi. Yes. Yeah, anyone else wants to share anything that you... It's also like how, as you were sharing, how we realize that there is something more to us than the body. So if the body is challenged or not so-called normal functioning, which we take so much for granted, he shares that there is only this one letter changed in the DNA sequence, and that does all the, that changes all the game. And most of us, we don't even know how lucky we are. Our bodies are functioning normally. There is no letter missing, no letter changed or mutated. and we just take it for granted. I mean, the things we get involved in the head, it's really crazy where all we can go and forget about gratitude. We just take it for real granted and waste in one sense, we really waste this precious life. Yeah. So to know that we are more than the body, that really helps. Yeah. Yes, Taru. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, awareness, like the first video, and maybe acceptance, right? And maybe courage and awareness too here in the second one, right? Although they sounded like very different videos. One is of a nun sitting in a nunnery, telling you to be aware. And second is of a boy in a hospital saying that I know who I am and I wouldn't change it. It's like the common thread is so much there, and we don't have to be in a nunnery to practice awareness. I think, first of all, that's what struck me. And secondly, these words, it's like we hear things and we don't even think about them anymore. Like, how I think it's J. Krishnamurti who says that when you tell a child a bird's name, the child never looks at that bird again. It's the same thing that I am like, oh, awareness. Oh, I know what it is. Acceptance. Yeah, I know what it is, but am I using it? Am I practicing it? Am I aware? That's like me knowing about it means nothing. Like, unless I actually practice. And somehow I think I had this false perception that these things would come, right? Like I would walk on this path and things would come to me. That too happens. I'm not saying it doesn't, but one can never stress enough the importance of consciously doing these practices. Like Jetsunma Tenzin Palmo, she was saying that about the 3 times bringing your in an hour, right? Like to bring your awareness back to, not back, but just to be aware that what is the mind thinking, what is the body doing. It sounds silly, right? Like, why would I want to do that? I am all the time aware what I am doing. But am I? Like, unless you start doing these things, like just talking again from my experience, you don't realize where you are lost. Like, it's just unbelievable. I think I don't know, there's a lot of ego conflicts. The ego says, I already know. Then why do I need to do this? Right? And unless you do it, you will not know what you don't know. I think that is the first thing. And the second, that for a teenager, like I think he might be, I don't know, 13, 14, not more than that, maybe, to be able to accept, like today while I was just sitting for this session, I spilled a glass of water on the floor. And I was like, oh my God, how could I do this? And oh, now I have to, it's like what happened wasn't big or important, but those 2 minutes that I wasted sulking about it. That why am I so clumsy? Why do I keep the glass there? In those whys and this, I don't know, I'm losing my life in things which mean nothing. So to just be aware and go on with it, to say that I will not change my disease because it makes me who I am. The level of, kind of connectedness that it shows is very awe-inspiring. And, it's like when one person can do it, one thing is I feel that, oh, wow, he can do it, he can do it. But if one human can do it, that increases my chances and possibility of doing things too. So if I can't accept, big things, if I can just start with small, that okay, I spill water and I smile. Let's see, I don't know, spilled it again. Yes, I am clumsy. I accept it. So yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
I think the thing that you were sharing about just being aware, and what Tenzin Palmo was also kind of stressing upon, just not judging what state of mind you are in, but just knowing the state of mind I am in. So if anger is rising, or thoughts about myself, opinions about myself, as you shared, I'm clumsy or this or that, if they are arising, and usually when they're arising, I just totally buy into them without being aware. So if I can just be aware that yes, these are arising, then only I can exert my capacity to whether to buy into it or to let it go. That's the beauty. That why to become aware of things at all, as you were sharing, that what is the purpose of being aware of my thought, my opinions? The purpose of being aware of our thoughts and feelings and opinions and ideas, or what's happening in the state of mind, is that we all want to have a little mastery over the mind. And if I don't even know that the anger is arising, okay, here you are, here is anger. Now in that split second, I have a choice whether I want to go with it or whether I want to say maybe later. So I think this is very empowering when we notice that in that split second we have that choice. So something happened. Now you can change your mood according to the happening, become that mood, or you see, okay, the mood is rising and I have bought into that enough and now I don't want it. So you exert this free will, that 24/7 we have this free will, and we are not aware that we have it, and we feel so weak and a victim of circumstances, I would say, rather than in charge of our being. So yeah, very, very relevant. Yes, can't be stressed enough. Yeah.
I'd just like to add two things. Like when you were sharing this, one thing is that I don't know why I'm quoting him again today. A JK again, I read a quote that said that when you understand what you are without trying to change it, then what you are transforms. It was something like this. But your intention is not to transform it. Your intention, like you said, is just to know, oh, like these small, small things bother me. Oh, I again let it overrule me, just that. And when you see it, it's not there anymore, like it's not magic, but the intensity, the thing, it just starts decreasing till you realize that, oh, I haven't done it in such a long while, or I don't know, it takes time. And secondly, the judgment part, that, like especially when you're sitting for practices, I don't know if it's the beginning, middle, or end, or wherever, or throughout, because it's a monkey mind. They say it's a mad monkey mind, right? So in that also, sometimes this thought comes that what's the use of this sitting when I can't even, focus for maybe, I don't know, 10 breaths, right? 10 uninterrupted breaths with awareness are so hard. So what's the use of this, right? I don't want to do it, I can't do it. But the point is, that could also be a point, but I would say that for me right now, the point is not to breathe without losing awareness, but just to be aware that I am not even able to breathe 5 times without my mind jumping somewhere. Just this fact is a root shock, which makes me want to, I don't know, it's like, it also increases my acceptance of the self. This is it, this is my reality right now, and it's all right. So with when I'm sitting to, first of all, when I sit, I remind myself again, whatever happens, it's all right, but we'll do it. I will not get up, till that whatever amount I want to keep, I will sit. I commit to myself that, okay, I will not get up for the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, whatever. I think that's important.
And although we call this meditating, that we are doing a meditation, but Tenzin Palmo shares that her Lama, Kamtur Rinpoche, he shared that when we understand the nature of the mind, when we understand who we truly are, it's only then we begin to know what is meditation. So it's really strange that before that it's all rehearsals, but of absolutely necessary preparations. But this, what we are doing right now, is actually taming the mind, what she shares, taming the mind, and to know where the mind is, to know the state of the mind. Yeah. So I think someone raised hand. Anyone who
Yeah,
wants to?
Ritu. Yeah, Ritu. had
Yeah.
raised
Yeah,
her
hi. Lovely to see both of you in the morning. So another sharing I wanted to do about which I read with Tenzing Pamu had said, which I really liked, was that the reason we are not enlightened is because we are lazy. We get too fascinated with the games of the mind which it is playing, and thus we do not bother to come back to the present. Genuine renunciation is giving it our fond thoughts, our delights in memories, hopes, daydreams, and our mental chatter. Leaving money, home, family is easier. We are stopped by fear and lethargy, inertia of the mind. This is why we stay in samsara, and because we find excuses, we like sleeping and dreaming. So I think it's really, really true. I think the main reason which I see in myself is laziness only, whether it's physical, whether it's the laziness of my thoughts, because the regular thoughts which keep coming to the mind on the day-to-day basis. I don't want to stop, and I don't want to tell myself to watch the thoughts because I'm comfortable with those thoughts. So a lot of times I notice, like my son, he sits in the room and doesn't exercise. I keep telling him, look, why don't you go and exercise? Why don't you see you're gaining weight? But a lot of times I feel it's me who's also very lazy. I give him my example. Look at me. I always go for a walk. But actually, if I see, there are so many areas wherein I'm lazy, and I shouldn't be saying this to him because, firstly, that laziness is there in me too. I mean, if I can't even watch my thoughts, if I can't even see where my thoughts are going, so that's something which I need to be careful about. It's easier said than done, but then, yes, we have to make a start. So it's nice to actually, stop and think and change our ways, our thoughts goes, at least watching where they go. So it's a good start.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing that you shared, that we won't be, the more we look into ourselves, we are not able to really tell other people about do this, do that. That's really true, because although I'm not saying that we should not tell, because many a times talking to children, specifically our children, it becomes necessary that if I am a drunkard, although he's learning to be a drunkard, but he doesn't have to be a drunkard. So I think that talking is also necessary. But the other thing that you shared, this laziness, mother shares that there is nothing personal about this laziness. This is a collective laziness. Since we are born in inertia, we are born in dumbness and amnesia. So also, since you mentioned it, and it's good that this came up, laziness part, that not to take it personally, to notice that, okay, I'm being lazy, and then to the next moment to get up and do whatever is necessary.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then laziness, it's very difficult to get away with.
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
And another thing, Monica, the video which you shared and the other sessions also, wherein we talk about pain and suffering. So, I mean, sometimes I wonder that um, couldn't there be some better way to kind of wake us up rather than using diseases and illnesses and pain and suffering? So, like this small boy who has sickle cells, so he could have been in, I mean, been there where he is now after having sickle cells without having sickle cells. So, why is it that we have to kind of, go through the pain and suffering so as to realize things? Can't there be any other way of realizing things than going through all the mud and muck?
So one thing which is coming to me is, almost, I'll rephrase your question, that can't I have good muscles without gymming or without exercising or without doing kushti or dangal? Can't I have good muscles? So what would be the answer? I don't know.
आजकल तो there's a lot of cosmetic surgeries. You can have muscles also.
Yeah. Yeah, but there would be difference in quality, right? One would be more natural, organic, and the other one would be more dependent on chemicals. But I'm sure there are other things which can be said here. Taru has something to share, I guess.
Yeah, Ritu, I hear, hear your question, and pain is painful. Diseases are painful, and yet, honestly, if I factually say, look at my everyday, say, okay, you have toothache, and the doctor says that every day you don't floss, your teeth, your tooth will ache. You'll have a very sharp pain. Okay, one situation. And the second situation is the doctor says that if you will not floss, very soon your teeth will start paining. Okay, so just to maintain your good health, you must floss every day or 3 times a day after every meal. Let's take it that way. So you tell me honestly, in which case are you more likely to floss? When the pain is right after something that you were not, you no didn't do that you were supposed to, that you will do it, or it's like it's a possibility in the future that you will do it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, only when it strikes us hard.
I mean, there's
then-
something about pain which just connects us, which just tells us that, there is no option. And somehow the glitter and the glamour and the distraction and the fragrances and the taste are so captivating that hota nahi hai. If somebody says, do this, you will feel nice. It will be like, हाँ kar lungi, I'm feeling nice enough. But if somebody says, you're withering in pain, and somebody says, do this, hold on to it like, say, you were dying and that's your last breath, right? So there's something really beautiful about pain that it just makes you more alive, and it gives you no option, because sadly, if I get options, I don't do the right thing, because the things that I want to do are much more fun or much more comfortable, or that, like you said, laziness, right? It doesn't let me do the right thing most of the time.
And you, Taru, just wanting to add on to what you are sharing, that you are saying that without pain, we don't move. So pain is necessary. That's what you are sharing, right? And if you go a little backward, so say, what I want to share is that why is pain necessary? वही ऋतु क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है कि क्यों जरूरी है पेन? बिना पेन के रियलाइजेशन नहीं हो सकता क्या? है ना? So Mother Sri Aurobindo have talked again and again on this, that since we are all, so this is somehow the make of the universe, that we are born in amnesia and dullness. Hence pain becomes important, the beauty of pain that Taru is sharing. If the structure of manifestation was something else, maybe we could not need, then realization would be not needed, because only when dullness is there, only was when forgetfulness is there, that I have the true nature of Buddha nature, but I don't even know that I have it. So that forgetfulness, that amnesia, we are born in that, and there is nothing we can talk here, because that's how it is. That's how it is. And hence what Taru is sharing, that without pain, we don't care to move. We don't care to move. If the, as she shared, if the tooth doesn't hurt, who wants to go to the doctor? So that is the make somehow of the universe, that at the moment a birth is taken, it's complete forgetfulness of true nature. Slowly we get like more hardened, and hence pain becomes a necessity. So just wanted to add that it's nothing personal about being poked with pain. It's just the make of the creation, and hence the importance of pain.
Yeah, but I still hope if things could be different.
एक और भी एक और भी चीज मुझे यहाँ पे आती है कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस गाय हु यू वर लुकिंग एट, David Sanchez, he would not have said the same things if he would not have grown so much through his pain and suffering. So if we refuse to grow through our painful challenges, then we want to run away from pain. But if I know what goodness it's giving me, how soft it is making me, how mellowed down, how grounded, how much of kindness it has got me, I think then we would not say that, oh God, don't give me pain, because you know what good it has done to you. So if we are learning our lessons nicely, I think then we don't want to run away from the lessons also. That thing also comes to me, again.
And also the awareness that we have come here to grow. Yeah. And the reason we are born is this, the growth and evolution and nothing else. That's when you accept the pain and and you accept your growth because of who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah. Actually, थोड़ा society का भी ऐसा influence रहता है ना, so many movies and so many things. Everybody is telling me just have fun. तो I also get lost. इसमें गलती भी कुछ ये नहीं कह सकते कि मेरी गलती है.
Actually, facade इतना बड़ा है. Facade.
Yeah.
So I'll leave in 2 minutes, but I would like to share
Yes.
that Monica, you have been connected to my journey a little bit, है ना? We speak and all that. So 2019 January 1st is when I decided that नहीं, enough हो गया, and now I need to really go closer to what I really want to do. So the facade of the society, the makeup, the social agendas are to they are also fake. Matlab, they are very superficial. I would not use the word fake. Superficial, not deep. So you get stuck to the genetic makeup of the society, which is party पे जाना है, किसी के birthday पे जाना है, नहीं गए तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, शादी पे जाना है. So then I started questioning why. Because when I go to a birthday party, I'm really not able to talk to the host. Or if I host a birthday, I'm really very stressed for like a week or so. So क्या मेरी ये growth हो रही है इन चीजों से? And then the time, the energy that goes in, क्या पहनना है, कहाँ क्या लेके जाना है, क्या बात करनी है वहाँ, किससे मिलना है. And the moment you say hi to somebody and you walk out, I can sense somebody is talking about me. So so उससे वो वैक्यूम से अपने आप को सक आउट करना है ना कि सक इन कर लेना. So it took me quite, like, even now, and now, I mean, since last year, of course, the world came closer to themselves, uh, more. I think I used to just smile when this COVID was happening, and I knew it will bring in, matlab, change in a, matlab, jaldi hoega. So now I don't feel bad that I have not attending not attended cousin's wedding or not attended birthday. And I call them, wish them, feel very happy for them, and I tell them I'll come over, I'll meet you in person. But I'm not able to come in events because I don't like बहुत energy dissipate होता है, and the बहुत manage करना होता है before you go. So I think that one thing has really helped me conserve my energies. And it so happened because I was in pain. I was in pain of that pressure of dressing up in a way and going in a way and talking in a way and being absolutely fruitless and the useless talks. It had to rise. I mean, it was like I could just see it was so much that I had to just walk out of it one day. So I wanted to share this because it was really coming कि कैसे अपने monkey mind को, like the more you go, the more you are in the social genetic, the more monkey mind plays. Now also it does, but these are all practices to come closer to your awareness.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Riddhi. And thanks for joining. Have a good day.
Okay, ji.
Yeah. Anyone?
Bye-bye.
Any comments, any reflections? Okay, so let's call it starting of the day here.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good day, everyone, and thank you for joining. Good to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Monica and
Bye.
Taru. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah.